Today I'd like to demonstrate how to register for classes. Students always have questions about registering since it is a tricky process. Let's get started. First, we log into our MyBC page. Let's log in now. We put our student ID and password. Remember, password is 6 digits, month and year of birth. Once logged in to your MyBC page, we simply click on Registration, Add Drop. We select the term, in this case fall, and we scroll down to the search screen. We put in campus, in this case for our pretend student, let's put in North, and then we put in the course ID number. Instead of putting in the course ID separately, one can import their courses from their educational plan by clicking the Import button. The educational plan is done with an academic advisor, and once it is completed, each term all the student has to do is click the Import button. In this case, let us use MAT 0028 as an example. Since this is a prep class, and many students starting college have to take one of the math prep classes, and it is tricky to register for this along with its lab. So let's use this as an example. Notice the sessions. We have session 1 starting August, ending in December. We have session 2 starting August, ending in October. But session 3 would start September 5th and last until December. And we have session 4 starting in October, ending in December. But a lot of students like to do session 1 since it's the full term usually, 16 weeks for fall. Now we are finding that many of the classes that are available either have started already or are the part of the redesign project session 2 and 4. Notice that many of these are restricted or part of a learning community, and those are restricted as well. But this is a lesson to learn to always register very early when the registration period begins. Registration period always begins about 2 or 3 months before the term starts, so you won't have these problems if you register early. Let's put in our campus again. In this case, we're searching any campus to see if there are more openings available at other campuses, and students can register at any campus they like. And they're usually forced to do so in cases when the term is starting and their preferred campus is booked. So let's check to see if we find any openings. Let us try this one. This is a session 1 class at the Downtown Center. Okay, let's click on the 6-digit reference number, and remember we have to add a lab, and the lab has to be for the downtown campus and for session 1. And remember, the lab is not a class, but you have to add it with the lecture. So we find the labs for downtown, and here's for session 1. Let's click on the lab for session 1 at downtown. We'll click the red update button. Still could not register, and again we're running into this problem because classes started already. So we have to now try to find a class that has not started. Session 3 is another session starting September 5th. That has not started. We clicked on the reference number, we scroll down, and we're going to add the lab. That was at downtown again, lab for session 3. We see lecture and lab added for downtown center, and we click the update button to see if it works. Oh, and we're going to cancel the other 2 that we added. Now we see the session 3 for the lecture and lab at downtown campus only. We click the red button to update. Finally, we have a successful course. Finally, we registered successfully for elementary algebra and lab. And remember, you might have other courses you're registering for, but it's the similar process. And you can go to your schedule, you click View and Print Courses, View and Print Schedule, go to Printer Friendly, keep aware of your payment deadline and the amount. If you miss that payment deadline, your classes will be dropped. Remember to check with financial aid if you might not have your courses paid in time. A lot of times financial aid expects the student to pay out of pocket by the payment deadline, and then they would get reimbursed if the aid is awarded later. But usually if a student applies early for aid, the balance usually shows 0 by the time they register. So in this case, we'll advise the student to go to the financial aid office to make sure their award is being processed accordingly.